Every nation has its martyrs, figures whose names are etched into memory not for what they achieved in life, but how they met their death. For America, few words echo louder than those of Nathan Hale, the young spy who supposedly declared, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country." But who was Hale really? A heroic patriot, or a convenient myth, polished by history to inspire revolution? If this video made you see things from a new angle, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Hero or Villain, and share this video. Thanks for watching. The setting, 1776 in flames. The summer of 1776 was not one of easy victories for the Continental Army. After the Declaration of Independence, the British struck back with overwhelming force, sending warships and thousands of soldiers to New York. George Washington's army, outnumbered and outgunned, needed information to survive. The enemy's next moves had to be predicted at all costs. It was in this desperate moment that a young man named Nathan Hale stepped forward. Trigger moment, a nation's first spy. Hale was just 21, a Yale graduate, a schoolteacher, handsome, athletic, admired by his peers. By all accounts, he could have lived a quiet, safe life. Instead, he volunteered for a mission many soldiers feared, espionage. Disguised as a Dutch schoolmaster, Hale slipped into British-controlled New York, but with no real training in spycraft. His fate was nearly sealed from the start. Within days, he was betrayed, some say by a loyalist relative, others by his own nervous behavior. Captured with incriminating documents, Hale was condemned to hang without trial. At dawn on September 22, 1776, he faced the gallows. And it was there, history tells us, that he spoke his immortal final words, a defiant message to the enemy, and a rallying cry for a fledgling nation. Hero or myth? The debate. The hero's side. Hale represents courage in its purest form. He knew the risks, accepted the danger, and gave his life for independence. His supposed last words became more than just a farewell. They became America's first patriotic slogan of sacrifice. The myth side. But historians remind us, the story is less certain. The phrase attributed to Hale resembles a line from Joseph Addison's play Cato, popular among revolutionary soldiers. Did Hale truly say it? Or was it simply placed in his mouth later, to craft a hero America desperately needed? And then comes the harder truth. Hale's mission failed. He never delivered intelligence. In military terms, his death accomplished nothing. Was his elevation to national martyr a genuine tribute, or carefully cultivated propaganda? Revolutionary context. Why Hale's death mattered. The Revolutionary War was a war of symbols as much as battles. The colonists were outnumbered, underfunded, and often outmatched. What they needed most was belief, in the cause, in their leaders, and in each other. Hale's death, while militarily meaningless, became morally priceless. Pamphlets retold his story. Newspapers echoed his supposed words. The narrative spread far beyond the battlefield, fueling the fire of independence. In a war where victories were scarce, a martyr was sometimes more valuable than a spy. Cultural legacy, from spy to statue. Hale's story did not die with him. Over the next 2 centuries, his image grew into something larger than life. Statues of him stand in New York, Washington, D.C., and Yale University, where he once studied. The CIA honors him as America's first spy. Their headquarters even includes a tribute. Politicians across generations invoked Hale's words to stir patriotism in times of crisis. And yet, behind the bronze statues and solemn ceremonies, we find a paradox. Nathan Hale is remembered less for what he did than for what he symbolized. Did you know? Nathan Hale was one of a set of 12 children, a product of a deeply religious New England family. At Yale, he was a member of the Linnaean Society, debating Enlightenment philosophy and the role of liberty. General Washington's request for intelligence came just weeks after the disastrous Battle of Long Island, when the American cause seemed near collapse. Hale was executed in Manhattan, not far from where City Hall now stands, though the exact site has been lost to history. Sketch of the day. Today's artwork comes from Emily in Boston. A somber watercolor of Hale standing beneath the noose, back straight, eyes fixed on the rising sun. The rope coils above him like fate itself, yet his face glows with calm resolve. In the background, the British officers watch in silence, unmoved. The young patriot seems both fragile and immortal, a figure whose courage would outlive the moment. Half boy, half martyr, entirely unforgettable. The legacy debate, hero or liability. Some argue Hale's death proves the limits of amateur patriotism. A teacher turned spy with no training was doomed to fail. Perhaps his real value was not in the mission he attempted, but in the lesson his story provided. The revolution needed discipline, secrecy, and professional intelligence. Others counter that Hale's failure was irrelevant. His death filled a void. It turned despair into determination. In that sense, Hale's sacrifice was worth more than the intelligence he might have brought back. Final thoughts. Nathan Hale's legacy forces us to ask, do heroes matter because of what they truly did, or because of the stories we tell about them? Perhaps his words, real or imagined, endure not because they are fact, but because they are needed. Needed to inspire a fledgling nation. Needed to remind future generations of the cost of freedom. In the end, Nathan Hale stands less as a man and more as an idea. That even the youngest, least experienced, and most ordinary among us can rise to immortality in a single, courageous moment. If this video made you see things from a new angle, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Hero or Villain, and share this video. Thanks for watching.